What's going on, everybody? This is Mattdoesfitness, and what did the female shepherd say to the male shepherd? You heard. Okay, this is my deadlift highlights from week 6 of my 4th cycle. I'm into week 6, which ordinarily would be a sometimes a test week, sometimes preparation for a test week. In this case, it's probably going to be the penultimate week of my cycle, and then I will do a test week potentially in week 8. That's kind of still up in the air. Anyway, you may notice that my voice still sounds slightly nasal. I'm starting to think that I haven't got a cold and this is just my new voice. Maybe I've just kind of developed a really deep voice, which will be pretty cool, to be fair. Right, in this session I did some, or not technically, I planned to do some triples. I went for 225 kilos, 496 pounds. It was kind of a little bit experimental, it still is, because I've gone back, this is my 3rd session back with sumo now, so I'm still kind of playing with the weight, deciding what to do in terms of my sessions. I don't want to do 5 sets of 5 because I think that's it's potentially too much volume. Well, and when I say that, I mean obviously it doesn't allow you to lift enough weight because of the volume. And I don't want to do 5 sets of 3 because again I think it doesn't enable you to lift enough weight. That said, I don't really know, I might change my mind and do that anyway. So basically I did a triple initially, then I did 2 sets, and here I planned to do 1, ended up not even getting 1, spoiler alert by the way. I kind of moved it slightly off the floor, but my adductors were pretty hammered at this point. I found that obviously with where I've widened my stance with my squats, my hamstrings and adductors and glutes are getting a bit of a hammering from that, and obviously here with the wide sumo, I've widened my sumo stance. Again, obviously it's predominantly hamstrings, glutes, adductors. It's a bit of a crossover there, so I was a little bit sore, but I still felt good. I mean, that first triple, that is the most weight, that 496 pounds, that's the most weight I've ever done for a triple, so it's technically a PR, so obviously I'm happy with that. I'm thinking that might be a good kind of setup, potentially to do like a 3-2-1, so find a weight, like a maximal weight I can do a triple with, and then just go 2 reps and then go 1 rep, potentially, I'm not really sure. But like I said, I'm still kind of deciding what is the best deadlift session for me to do. I then followed that with 3 sets of 7 at 185 kilos, 408 pounds, which you just saw there. Again, I explained this last week. The thinking behind what I've done for the last couple of weeks is, it's pretty basic. I'm just thinking if I do some heavy kind of singles, doubles, triples, kind of work in that range, obviously completely based or geared towards strength, I can then follow it up with some sets of like 7 to 8-ish reps, which is obviously going to do the volume, which is going to build the kind of base and the size, which, you know, that obviously hypertrophy, hopefully that's going to enable me to get stronger eventually, because wide sumo is a new lift for me. It feels new. I feel like I'm getting sore in, like I said, in my adductors, which I've not really had before in any kind of lift, so I figure if I can get a nice big base there, that's going to translate into strength eventually, but we will see. Right, I then did some dumbbell rows, single arm ones, which you just saw a minute ago. I very rarely do these because I've said it before, I'm very, very lazy, so any kind of chance I get to do unilateral work, I tend to do that. And obviously where you've got to do one side after the other, it's a bit of a pain, but I did them. I then did some lat pull downs like you see me doing here, and what I'm doing differently, which I've done a couple of times recently and I really like it, is I just hold it for a fraction of a second at the bottom of the rep. So I find sometimes, even though I know I'm hitting my back, I don't feel a huge amount of back engagement or as much as I would like to. So what I do is just what I've done recently anyway there, and it works really well with any kind of row I found, is just hold it for a fraction of a second at the end of the rep, and you really feel your back burning, as long obviously as you make sure you are pulling and holding from the elbow, not with your hands. Right, I then did some reverse dumbbell flies, which I'm trying to incorporate a lot of. I've said this a few times, just to counteract all of the pressing and the regular flies that I'm doing. I don't want to get an imbalance in my shoulders, and since I've been doing this, it might be coincidence, but my shoulders have felt a million times better with my bench and stuff. Touch wood, I've not had any shoulder issues for a long time now, or a long time in my books. And I finished the session, my friends, with some alternate dumbbell arm curls with a little bit of supination, and then my left arm is kind of troubling me a little bit, so they weren't ideal, the form wasn't great, but I got them in. And that, my friends, was my session, a nice quick one, and that was my week of deadlifts. So, like I said, I'm still umming and ahhing as to what I'm going to do in terms of testing, but I probably will test my deadlift within the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.